What if I told you that everything you need to feed your family well and spend less doing it is already in your hands? You wouldn't need coupons. You wouldn't need apps. You wouldn't even need a grocery store loyalty card. All you'd need is a return to roots. Deep in the heart of rural America, there's a community that thrives on tradition. They don't chase trends. They don't panic when shelves are empty. And they don't rely on convenience because they know that real wealth lies in what you grow, cook, and preserve yourself. The Amish have quietly held the blueprint to financial freedom through food for generations. And today, you're going to learn 30 Amish cooking secrets that can save you thousands a year, reclaim your time, and reconnect you with what truly matters. Let's begin with the single most powerful habit in every Amish kitchen. Cook from scratch. In the modern world, we've outsourced our meals. We microwave, we Uber Eats, we open boxes. But in Amish kitchens, there are no shortcuts, only raw ingredients and wisdom passed down through hands, not hashtags. Cooking from scratch isn't just healthier, it's radically cheaper. Instead of $5 boxed cake mix, you have flour, sugar, eggs, and skill. Instead of $9 mac and cheese from a food truck, you make your own with butter, cheese, and pasta that cost a fraction. The Amish understand something we've forgotten. When you cook from scratch, you control your costs and your health. But they don't stop there. They multiply their efforts through the next secret. Bake in bulk. Every Thursday morning before sunrise, Amish women light their ovens. Not to bake a loaf of bread, but to bake 10. Why? Because baking in bulk saves energy, time, and money. When you make 3 dozen rolls or 4 pies at once, you're slashing per unit cost and creating future meals in one session. That same dough can become cinnamon rolls tomorrow, soft pretzels the next day, and garlic knots for Sunday dinner. Bulk baking isn't excess, it's efficiency, and that strategy starts with buying differently. Buy ingredients, not products. You won't find Doritos or instant noodles in an Amish pantry. Instead, you'll see 50-pound sacks of flour, gallon jars of honey, bulk yeast. Because the Amish don't buy products, they buy possibilities. $20 spent on boxed snacks disappears in days. But $20 of dried beans and rice, that's weeks of meals. When you stop paying for packaging, branding, and preservatives, you start investing in long-term nourishment. And the next secret is how they make even that cheaper. Join a bulk buying co-op. Imagine walking into a grocery store where everything is 40% off forever. That's what Amish families have through their co-ops. They order in large quantities as a community, splitting costs and deliveries. You can do the same. Whether it's a church group, homeschool network, or local CSA, you can join others and buy smarter. And once you have those ingredients, the next step is growing what you can. Grow what you can, no matter where you live. The Amish don't grow food because it's trendy. They grow because it's freedom. Even a tiny backyard or balcony can yield herbs, greens, or tomatoes. One basil plant can replace $60 in store-bought pesto. One squash vine, a month's worth of dinners. Growing even a little means you're less dependent, less reactive, more rooted. And once you grow, you'll need to make use of every single part. Use every scrap. In an Amish kitchen, nothing goes to waste. Carrot peels become soup stock. Onion skins flavor broth. Bones become rich, healing liquid gold. The scraps that modern kitchens toss away, the Amish turn into tomorrow's meals or tomorrow's soil. Every bit counts, and they make sure it counts again. But what happens when you're short on time? Cook once, eat twice. Let's say an Amish family roasts a chicken. Tonight, it's dinner. Tomorrow, it's shredded into sandwiches. The next day, it's chicken pot pie. Finally, the bones become broth. 1 chicken, 4 meals. Nearly zero waste. This isn't just smart, it's survival. And if you're wondering how they keep things fresh with no fridge, you're about to learn one of their oldest tricks. Cold storage without electricity. The Amish use root cellars and cool pantries instead of modern refrigeration. Crocks of sauerkraut stay fresh for months. Potatoes and apples are stored in straw-lined bins. Cool basements act like natural fridges. Even without electricity, they know how to preserve abundance. And they preserve a lot, especially with canning. Mastering the art of canning isn't just quaint, it's powerful. In summer, they can green beans, peaches, and tomatoes. In winter, they open jars of sunshine. It saves hundreds. One afternoon of work becomes 30 jars of chili base, 20 meals preserved and ready, no freezer required, just patience, glass, and boiling water. But wait until you hear how they stretch just one ingredient across a week. Soup Amish soups are legendary. A single chicken, a few potatoes, some onions, carrots, and homemade noodles. That's 8 servings for under $3. They rely on flavor, not cost. Broth, not cream. Simplicity, not flash. And when soup is served with homemade bread, that's dinner done. Coming up, the forgotten method that keeps their food fresh without Tupperware. Ditch plastic. In Amish homes, you won't see stacks of plastic containers crowding a fridge. Instead, you'll find food wrapped in beeswax cloths, stored in crocks, or tucked in glass jars sealed tight. They use root cellars, fermenting, salting, and canning, all methods that preserve food and money without relying on expensive gadgets or short-lived plastic, because to them, storage is an extension of respect for food, time, and tradition. And the savings, they start before the meal even hits the table. Use seasonal eating to slash your bill. The Amish don't eat strawberries in December or asparagus in August. They eat what's ripe now, because seasonal food is always cheaper, tastier, and more nutritious. By aligning their diet with the calendar, they avoid costly imports and enjoy peak flavors without peak prices. Imagine syncing your meals with the earth's rhythm and letting nature determine your menu. And what happens to the surplus? That's where the next secret shines. Preserve the harvest. When cucumbers are plentiful, they pickle. When apples are ripe, they slice and dry them on racks by the stove. Dehydrated fruits and vegetables last months. No freezer burn, no waste, just natural preservation. A single afternoon spent drying apples means dozens of school snacks or pie fillings at nearly zero cost, which brings us to a skill nearly lost in our fast-paced world. Make your own staples. Amish families don't buy ketchup, mustard, or pancake mix. They make them. It might sound old-fashioned, but the savings add up fast. Homemade salad dressing, pennies per bottle, granola, less sugar, more flavor, a fraction of the price. And when kids help mix the batter or stir the jam, they're not just learning recipes, they're learning resilience. Because these skills, they're passed down like heirlooms. Teach while you cook. Every Amish child is expected to know how to cook, bake, preserve, and stretch food by the time they're a teen. That's not just tradition, it's insurance. When a family knows how to feed itself, it's less vulnerable to inflation, shortages, or chaos. And when children learn to contribute, they build confidence and financial awareness. Cooking becomes a shared responsibility, a ritual, a rhythm. And that rhythm includes preparing for the unexpected. Always cook with the future in mind. The Amish don't just cook for today, they cook for tomorrow. Leftover dough becomes dumplings. Extra veggies get pickled. Even a few stray beans can be the start of Monday's soup. It's about foresight, planning, honoring the work already done by making it stretch further. And when you live this way, you naturally adopt the next powerful secret. Live by the fridge list. In many Amish homes, a handwritten list sits by the pantry or icebox. What's cooked, what's left, what's next. This simple list prevents waste. No forgotten leftovers, no duplicate meals. Imagine never tossing out spoiled spinach again, because you knew every day what needed to be used. It's old-school meal planning, and it works, which makes their shopping method even more brilliant. Shop with a purpose. The Amish don't shop for entertainment. They don't wander aisles or see what looks good. They bring a list and stick to it. Impulse buys? Not in a community where every dollar counts and every mile to the store costs time. This discipline saves hundreds annually, and it's what allows them to invest in the next strategy. Cook with wood or propane to cut energy costs. Many Amish households cook on wood-burning stoves or propane ranges, not just because it's traditional but because it's cheap. They heat their homes and meals with the same fuel source. Even if you're not off-grid, switching to propane or batch cooking meals when energy rates are low can make a massive difference on your monthly bill. But how do they stay consistent? It's all in the routine. Follow weekly meal rhythms. Monday is soup night. Tuesday is bread and jam. Wednesdays bring casseroles. Sundays bring roasts. The Amish rely on rotating meal schedules. Not rigid, but rhythmic. This reduces decision fatigue, simplifies shopping, and ensures nothing goes to waste. No guesswork. No chaos. Just calm, consistent meals that stretch a dollar and fill a soul. And if you think that sounds peaceful, wait until you hear how they turn leftovers into an entire event. Reinvent leftovers. Creatively for the Amish, leftovers aren't just reheated, they're reborn. Yesterday's roast becomes today's hash. Leftover vegetables get chopped into fritters or folded into egg bakes. Even stale bread becomes croutons or dessert pudding. It's not repetition, it's reinvention. And it's why nothing spoils in their kitchens. Because with a little imagination, anything can become the next great meal. Which leads us to an even older and often forgotten practice. Use meat as a flavor. Unlike modern meals that center everything around meat, the Amish often use it sparingly, like seasoning. A little bacon to flavor beans, a ham hock in soup, shredded chicken stretched across 4 meals. This approach not only makes meat last longer, it makes it taste better because it's used with intention. And when protein comes from beans, eggs, and dairy too, your food budget breathes easier. But what happens when there's a true crisis? No power, no store, no way to restock. That's where this next secret becomes life-saving. Maintain a 3 to 6 month food reserve. The Amish are natural preppers, but without the panic. Their pantries hold jars, grains, canned meat, and dry goods that can last for months. It's not fear, it's faith in preparedness. If a storm hits, a supply chain breaks, or prices spike, they simply reach for another jar. You can build a reserve too. 1 bag of rice, 1 jar of beans at a time. And when those reserves grow, that's when food becomes wealth. Track what you spend on every meal. The Amish are quiet accountants of the kitchen. They know exactly how much each loaf of bread costs, each pie, each stew. Why? Because when you know your numbers, you control your outcomes. Try it. Track 1 week of meals. You might be shocked at what's draining your wallet and what's quietly saving you. Now let's talk about one of the greatest Amish money-saving principles of all: community cooking. In Amish communities, it's common to cook together. Families gather for potlucks, barn raisings, and quilting bees, where meals are shared and costs divided. Imagine feeding 20 people without spending a dime more than you would for your own family. That's the power of community, and in hard times, this unity becomes survival. No one goes hungry, not when everyone gives what they can. It's the ultimate rejection of scarcity, and it starts with the next foundational belief. Cooking is service for the Amish. Preparing food isn't drudgery, it's honor. Feeding your family means showing love. Nourishing your neighbors means strengthening trust. When meals are made with care, they're eaten with gratitude. No need for drive-thrus or delivery because the kitchen is already the heart of the home, and from that heart flows the most powerful financial discipline they live by. Delayed gratification is a daily practice. The Amish know that good things take time, whether it's bread that rises overnight or soup that simmers for hours. They don't chase quick fixes, they slow down, they wait, and in doing so, they spend less. No impulse buys, no drive-through dinners, no midnight Amazon orders. Their cooking rhythm teaches patience, and that patience protects their finances. Speaking of protection, here's how they guard against one of the sneakiest money drains. Avoid single-use ingredients. If an item can't be used in at least 3 meals, they don't buy it. No exotic sauces that sit in the fridge door for months. No trendy powders or one-recipe flours. Every ingredient has multiple roles. Flour becomes bread, noodles, pie crusts. Eggs go from breakfast to baking. Potatoes? Endless options. This is how they waste nothing, and how you can too. Now get ready, because the next secret is the simplest and the most radical. Eat the same meals. Often simplicity is strength. Amish families often eat the same 10 to 15 meals on rotation. Why? Because familiarity saves time, money, and stress. No one needs a constantly changing menu. They need consistency, nourishment, and ease. You don't have to impress your taste buds daily. Just satisfy them well. And finally, we arrive at the most powerful secret of all. Food is freedom. The Amish understand something we've forgotten in a world of drive-thrus and takeout apps. When you know how to feed yourself, truly feed yourself, you are free. Free from prices you can't control. Free from shortages. Free from dependence. Every loaf you bake, every meal you preserve, every dollar you save, that's another step towards sovereignty. Cooking isn't just about food. It's about freedom, family, and future. These 30 secrets have sustained generations through war, economic collapse, and uncertainty. And now, they're yours. Start with one. One loaf of bread, one seed in the soil, one meal made from scratch. Because from one habit grows a new life. If this inspired you, don't let it stop here. Like, subscribe, and share this video with someone you love. Because together, we're not just saving money. We're reclaiming control. Your journey to food freedom begins today.